Hi guys, good morning. Wishing you a happy monsoon season. The other day, one of our viewers asked for another pork recipe, and now that the monsoon has started and the weather is much cooler, our appetite for red meat like beef and pork has increased dramatically. So, today we are making a Konkani style pork dish for you. What are we making, Maria?
Mangalorean pepper pork.
Mangalorean pepper pork. So, without further ado, we'll show you the ingredients. Come. We've never made Mangalorean pepper pork before, so we are following exactly Narayani Naik's recipe as shared by Jyotsna Shahane in her Konkan cookbook. The recipe for Mangalorean pepper pork calls for a marinade, a masala, and some extra ingredients. We'll take you through them one by one. So we're going to start with 1 kilo of good quality pork, and we're going to marinate it in 1 heaped teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon turmeric powder, 3 tablespoons of toddy vinegar, and 4 tablespoons of ground black pepper. Here we have our masala ingredients: 6 onions, 2 inches of ginger, 1 whole pod of garlic, and 6 green chillies. We are using the Goa chillies. If you use the normal green chillies, use maybe less than 6, otherwise it might become too spicy. We'll also need 5 chopped tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, and 2 tablespoons of cooking oil to get the frying started. Having made this recipe now, the next time we would rather use 3 tablespoons of black pepper only. We'll start the cooking process by first marinating the pork. So Maria is going to marinate the pork starting with the salt and turmeric. Mix it all well nicely. Now we'll add our 4 tablespoons of black pepper. Oof, this is going to be a spicy dish. In Goa, the electricity has gone again. It goes in summer when it's hot, it goes in the monsoon when it's cool. That's life here. Lastly, we'll add our toddy vinegar. Many people say, what do we do if we don't find toddy vinegar? I would say use a synthetic white vinegar. Just avoid using the wine vinegars because their flavor is too subtle. As you can see, every piece of pork is black with pepper. Now we leave this to marinate for at least an hour. Meanwhile, we'll make our masala in the mixie. Since this is quite a lot of masala ingredients, we might have to grind it in 2 batches, starting with the onion. We're not going to use water initially because onion has a lot of water. We'll see if we need, we'll add a few tablespoons of water. We're grinding most of the onions with the ginger and garlic at first. We'll start with this and then add the balance ingredients. See how much water the onion has left, so we don't need to add any water to this masala. Now we'll add the balance onion and green chillies. There you go, our masala for pork is ready. I must say it's giving off a very nice aroma. Now we'll see you guys at the stove. Now we are all set to start cooking with our marinated pork, our ground masala, tomatoes, tomato puree and oil. First we'll put on the gas on a high flame. In goes our oil. Just waiting for the oil to get hot, then we'll add our tomatoes into the pan. This is quite an unusual recipe, but since we have never made it before, we are following it to a T. Unusual because instead of frying onions first and then tomato, it's the reverse here. Now I'm going to add the tomatoes. According to the recipe, we have to cook these tomatoes till they become soft and pulpy. So I'm going to add a half teaspoon of salt now. That will help the tomatoes become pulpy faster. Just a bit, not a lot. I'm going to cover it to help the tomatoes get pulpy, but since my flame is high, I won't leave the stove. On high flame, one will have to keep stirring the tomatoes so that they don't stick. Every few minutes, I'm opening the lid and stirring the tomatoes to make sure that they don't stick. They're already on their way to becoming pulpy. After about 5 minutes, the tomatoes have started to become pulpy and are sticking. So, I'll cook it open now. I'm waiting to hear the oil. When I hear it, we'll add our masala. Oil is beginning to come out. After another couple of minutes of cooking, we can hear the oil sizzling. It started to come out, so we're going to add our ground masala now. Give it a good mix. Patiently, we have to cook this till it becomes a bit brown. If your flame is on high, like mine is, don't leave the stove. You can stir after every few minutes, but don't leave the stove. After a good 10 minutes, we are starting to hear the sizzle of oil again, and the onion mixture has become brown. I'm going to fry it for a minute more and add my pork. The water from the onions has evaporated now. Once again, we are hearing the sizzle of oil, so I'm adding the marinated pork now. Mix very well. Take your time. Keep the flame high. Already the aroma is quite good. Let's stir and fry this for at least 5 minutes. I have been stirring this pork from time to time on high flame for about 5 minutes. All the pork has changed color. So now I'm going to add half a cup of water and let it come to a boil. Let it come to a boil. Very soon our water in the pork has started boiling. So now it's going to cook. We're going to cover it. We're going to turn the flame down to medium. And we're going to simmer this for 45 minutes. For 45 minutes I'm not going to touch this burtan. Let the pork fat melt. Let the pork oil come out. In 45 minutes, we'll see you back here.
Okay.
Yeah. After 45 minutes, sorry guys, there's no electricity. We are using our mobile torch to film this. Welcome to Goa. After 45 minutes, this is looking nice. So much pork oil has come out. I'm going to cook this at least another 10-15 minutes more on open flame now. But I'll check one piece for two things. How much more cooking the pork needs, and of course, is the salt enough? After checking one piece of pork, we decided to close it and cook it close for another 15-20 minutes. Hopefully the electricity will come by then. After 15-20 minutes, let's take a look. Nice. Look at the pork oil coming out. Again, we'll check to see how much time it needs, but now we are going to finish it on the open flame and let this gravy tighten a bit. I'm going to add the tomato puree. And a little bit more vinegar. That was about a tablespoon more, tablespoon and a half. That's it. Salt is perfect. We leave it to cook for another 15-20 minutes on the open flame now. There we go. Our pork curry is ready. It has become quite thick, the gravy, and is spitting. That's why I'm wearing a glove. There we go. Ready to eat. See you at the dining table. Yum, yum, yum. Look at these nice big pieces of pork. Gravy is nice and pungent. Huh? One fatty piece is also a must. Too hot to eat with hands right now. The curry is too piping hot. Nice and soft the pork is.
Let it become soft. Too good.
Happy?
Very happy.
You like spicy? I love the spice of pepper more than chili.
Very tasty.
Very good. This Narayani, what is the name? Narayani's Konkan recipe. Very nice, huh? Mangalorean pepper pork. Ooh, it's too good to eat with cutlery. But it's still very piping hot. I'm sure some of you will understand when we say it's too tasty to eat with spoon and fork. Mmm.
It's very tasty. Well, no? The pepper flavor has gone into the pork and it's tasting very nice.
Thank you. Mmm. Ah, lovely. Now in rainy season, one feels like eating pork and beef, no?
Yeah. You feel the hotness, no? Because of the chilly weather.
Mmm.
So, John, what do you want to do this time? This year?
Oh, so shall we party? Stay tuned, guys. After this, we're making you another Konkani recipe, Konkani chicken sukha. That's coming up soon. Till then, enjoy the monsoon, enjoy life. Cheers.